Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. So in this video, I'm just going to run through the syllabus and some of the major assignments that you'll be doing for this course. I'm going to go ahead and jump into it here if I can share my screen. Where'd it go? There it is. Alrighty, there we go. So as you can see, this is for the Principles of TESOL course 3843. I'll leave it up to you to read all of these major things. I feel like the things that you're going to be most interested in, number one, my office hours. So you can contact me regularly, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. or 3 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. That will be via Zoom this semester, but I will be in my office physically from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. in case that's something that needs to happen. Of course, I have also shared with you a Calendly on our Blackboard, as well as in an email so that you can sign up ahead of time, but you may also always email me or give me a call in my office anytime. I always strive to be accessible, so anything that you want to talk about, whatever it is, please contact me. I don't get enough people to contact me, so please reach out to me when you can. Now, this course is an introduction to various pedagogical contexts associated with teaching English to speakers of other languages. So basically, this is just a fancy way of saying we're going to go over everything that has to do with anything that has to do with a different context of teaching English. So if you want to teach English in the United States to K-12 students, we're going to talk about that. If you want to teach English to immigrant language learners here in the United States, we're going to talk about that. If you want to teach English to potential or future university students that have come here with the specific purpose of gaining the English language skills that they need to study at a US university, we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about going abroad and teaching English to adults in another country. So hopefully this will give you a nice understanding of the major areas of TESOL, and then also we're going to be talking about the differences between things like English as a foreign language or English as a second language, English for specific purposes or English for academic purposes. If that doesn't mean anything to you yet, it will, I hope so. And we're also going to be talking about basics of things like lesson planning or kind of what you need to do once you land in another country. For example, you're not sure what you need to do in your first class, or you're not sure how you can help your students with speaking, with listening, with reading, with writing. So this is overall a overview course of the major concepts that you should be aware of when it comes to teaching English to speakers of other languages. A major point that we'll hit pretty hard this semester as well in this class is the 6 principles of TESOL. So the TESOL International Organization is a professional organization that is focused on teaching English to speakers of other languages, and they've recently released what they call the 6 principles of language learning, or sorry, 6 principles of exemplary teaching of English learners. And then we're going to spend a lot of time talking about that as well. I think it's fairly straightforward, as this class is called the Principles of TESOL. So the learning outcomes and everything I'll invite you to read over as a part of your homework. But I'm sure all of you are also very interested in the assessment methods. So in this class, we have a number of assignments, primarily weekly reflection boards. So every week due by Saturday, which I should kind of back up here a little bit. Every Saturday by midnight is when all of the work for that week will be due. So if there's something due that particular week, it is due by that Saturday at midnight. So everything that is assigned for a particular week, again, I'm going to say it again, is due that Saturday by midnight, and I will be collecting everything via Blackboard. So yeah, if you have any questions about that, reach out. So back to where we were, weekly reflection boards. So if you've taken a course with me before, you're fairly familiar with this structure, but every week you need to write roughly 200-word reflection on the content of that week. Weekly summaries, so for the readings in this course and the lecture videos that I'll be posting and anything else that I post for you to consume is something that needs to be included in the summary. So if I post a video, if I post a lecture, if I post a chapter to read, that's something that you need to provide a summary for. The template for that summary will be on Blackboard as well. There will be lesson plans. We'll do this a little bit later in the course, but we'll start talking about basic lesson planning. So as a part of this course, you're going to do 4, maybe 5, I haven't finalized that yet, but it will be worth 25% of your grade. You're going to come up with a lesson plan that is focused on one or two of the particular skills that we've talked about in this class. Again, I'll provide a template and more information later. You're also going to write what I'm calling a TESOL context report. So if you want to teach, as I said in the beginning, English to K-12 here in the US, English to adults in the US, English abroad to adults, whatever that context is that you would like to learn more about, you need to go out and learn as much as you can about that context. You know, what are the students typically like? What education do you need to teach there? What are the areas and places that you can teach? What kinds of jobs are available? Anything and everything that has to do with that context. Learn as much as you can and then write up a report of everything that you've learned and turn it in. In addition, there will be a TESOL professional interview and report. So I have a number of contacts that you can ask me for, or if you know somebody or know of somebody that is teaching English to people, contact them, interview them, ask them a number of questions. I'll provide some sample questions that you can ask. And then coming from that interview, write up a report about the things that they shared with you, as well as things that you learned or thought was interesting. And then you'll also write what I'm calling a TESOL professional narrative. So taking things from the TESOL context, taking the content from this course, as well as your interview and everything else, put together a personal professional narrative, what you want to do as a TESOL or English professional, what that will involve, what you need to do both here, do you need to go to graduate school, do you need to apply for any kind of certifications, where do you need to go to find these jobs, what are some potential jobs that you hope to look into, how do you think you're going to go about getting those jobs, etc., and so on. That will be due later on in the course as well. And then final piece of assessment in this course will be a midterm exam focused primarily on the TESOL 6 principles that we just talked about. Okay, so I ran through a lot of things really quickly there. I hope that that gives you a little bit more understanding of what the course is going to look like. Well, maybe I should expand a little bit. So every week on Blackboard, there will be modules. Go into that module and that will contain everything that you need to do for that week. And yes, so shifting gears here a little bit, I'm kind of improvising here a little bit. I should talk about the required textbooks. So you should purchase the Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, an Introduction book by David Noonan. It looks like this. Okay. So you need to purchase this book. Everyone should have one copy of this book. Now, the other books, I'm giving you a choice based on what your personal or professional interest would be. So there are 4 possible books, but you need to choose just one of them, and it will be a required text for this course. 3 of these are the 6 principles of exemplary teaching of English learners, published by TESOL. My copy is not near me at the moment, but I will post a picture of it. They're fairly thin books, but they contain a lot of information for the particular context that you'd be interested in. The other option is a More Than a Native Speaker book, which is primarily focused on English teaching abroad, but it kind of covers a lot of the things we're going to be covering in this course. In addition, it is made primarily for people who have little to no experience going abroad to teach English. So I hope that kind of clarifies things. Please look through the rest of the syllabus. If you have any questions, again, please email me or ask me in a discussion board or whatever that looks like. So I look forward to working with all of you, and we'll see you in the next one. If I could turn this off. There we go.